What is up, history helpers? This is a new channel, but we are here to help you with your history. If you need help with history at all, this is going to circulate around history you would find usually in a 11th grade, like an 8th grade, 11th grade history class. This is our first video. If you do enjoy it, make sure to subscribe for more history help. So this one's going to be on a certain aspect that was found a little back in the day, between about 1865 and it went all the way up to 19. This is stretching my brain right here. I think it was 1950 in that area, and this is poll taxes. So poll taxes, basically what you need to know about them is they were laws passed by southern states to try to keep the freedmen, in this case we're talking about slaves, from voting. And it made it so that black and white sharecroppers, who usually don't get a lot of money, who don't have a lot of money, have to pay an entry fee in order to vote. So basically what this means is that African Americans have to pay in order to vote for candidates. And keep in mind, this was just after the Civil War, so African Americans were technically freed people. So yeah, they have to get into a voting booth. They have to pay. So point taxes also prompted states to add grandfather clauses to their constitutions. So what this means is that states would go into their state constitutions, which is different from the constitution that we know and love, which is our federal constitution. This is the constitution that was created by the founding fathers. But these are going into their state constitutions, and the grandfather clauses, I don't think it's in here. Yeah, Louisiana is the first state to have these grandfather clauses. Basically said that if your grandfather was born before 1865, then you could vote without having to pay the poll tax. However, in this case, this was before the 13th Amendment was passed, which made slaves free men. Africans free men. So it's just restricting the Africans' ability to vote. And as you guys down there, it says down there, grandfather clauses made it so that if you failed the literacy test and you couldn't pay the poll tax, then if your grandfather or great grandfather was before, so it was 67, before January 1st, 1867, you were entitled to still vote. And as I said before, the problem with that is because if your grandfather was born before that, you still really couldn't vote, especially if you were black or African American, because this was before the 13th Amendment was passed. So let's continue. So poll taxes lasted 66 years before they were abolished by the 24th Amendment and a little bit of the Civil Rights Act of the 1950s and 60s. And so yes, this is what the 24th Amendment said. The right of the citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or election for the president or vice presidents, for electors for the president or vice president, or for the senator or representative in Congress shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state by reason of failure to pay any poll tax or other tax. So yeah, this is a big thing right here. Did the poll taxes help or hurt slaves or freedmen? They hurt them, because they made it so that they could never really cast a vote and that only Southern white men could get a say in Congress and in the government. So this is a big thing that they really hurt the African Americans and the black people and the freed slaves, because they didn't get a say in the government. So that everything that was happening was still not really going their way. So the impact of poll taxes was that they made it so only a slim margin of freedmen could vote for who they wanted, freedmen or African Americans for who they wanted, whereas a majority of Southern white men could vote and get their person or their people who they want into Congress with no problems at all. So they're limiting the amount of people who would be able to vote, and the amount of black men in the Senate and Congress. And yeah, thanks for watching this video, and make sure